Did you hear that? The moon just spoke!
I'm not hearing things, am I? The Master of Elation is here?
Hurry, make a wish. It might actually come true.
Hang on. This isn't right. Is it?
I mean, I don't know enough about Aha or Planarcadia to say if it's right or not.
That winking moon up there in the sky. It just spoke. For real. Oh, hey, it wasn't just me, was it? You heard that too, right?
Yeah, I mean, the whole world heard it.
I heard it too. That's why I came straight back for you. The winner of these Phantasmoon games shall inherit all my authority and become the true, permanent Eon of Elation. Which means...
They are kind of putting a damper on our plans to make them the hit of our group.
Precisely. Aha has raised the stakes. The final winner will inherit the authority of Elation itself.
Are you serious? This is so wild. It doesn't even feel real anymore.
Every time a path has vanished or been absorbed, the cosmic turmoil has lasted for dozens of Amber eras.
You could argue that this would not be a vanishing or an absorption, it's just passing the torch.
The transfer of an Eon's divine authority. How could that ever amount to a mere wager, lightly traded in a single world's game?
Well, it's the kind of thing that only, like, Aha or Mythos could do, you know?
The most logical explanation is that Aha wants to steer this game toward utter insanity. But then, who can possibly fathom the mind of an Eon? Not every Phantasmoon game's ending has been recorded. Many were lost to time, most likely a consequence of the winners exercising their newfound divine authority. But as far as recorded history goes, this is unprecedented. After all, the chance to be an Eon for just 1 minute is already an irresistible lure for many.
Exactly. It's just too weird. Can you really just give up being an Eon? What if this is just a big prank by those masked fools?
In the historical records, instances of the Phantasmoon speaking are few and far between, and the likelihood of it being influenced by an external force is exceedingly slim. Basically, unless what the Phantasmoon said is some cruel joke or a play on words, once the games are over, a new god will be born. One of unknown identity, unknown morality, and unknown purpose. They won't be a guest with a 1-minute pass to the Elation theme park. They will be its new owner. They may spread good fortune and steer the great wheel of the cosmos toward hope. Or they may be a god of utter malice, mocking all who stand against the destruction, intent on dragging the universe into an abyss of despair.
I mean, we are kind of already going to turmoil, but we gotta find the potential positives here.
You mean a pessimist sees a half-empty glass, but an optimist sees a half-full one. I knew you were an optimist, just like me. Besides, there's no way the Eon of Elation would let their authority fall into unworthy hands, right?
I mean, whoever wins is worthy just because they won. buying everybody time to change locations.
I couldn't even get a ticket to Star Rail Fest, and now I'm seeing them right here on the street!
Well, at least people are no longer accusing me of being a cosplayer.
Whoa. Where did all these people come from?
Hey, that declaration the Phantom Moon mentioned was about you, right? What are you gonna do? Got any kind of moon landing plans in the works?
You should just hit it with your bat! Send that thing spinning into a black hole at the edge of the cosmos!
Yeah, it's not a golf club. I can't get that good of a swing.
You smash anyone who stands in your way with that bat!
I mean, sure, but...
The way they say it makes you sound like a supervillain. Uh-oh. You don't think that fight with the Daybreak Squadron made everyone turn on us, do you?
Do they sound angry to you, March? Nah, they're just fans.
Come on, isn't that basically your trademark? You beat the Daybreak Warriors senseless.
Now this lady is annoyed. The others were just like, yeah, you're so cool, you just beat people up.
Oh! All these big shots from across the cosmos, fighting to the death right in our backyard. It's gonna be epic!
Fighting to the death.
Epic. Are you brain dead? One wrong move from them and we're in serious trouble. Just like what happened with the Herald of Death years ago.
Sign this for me, future Eon!
Yo! When you become an Eon, can I be your Emanator?
Sure, I'll put you on the list to consider.
We should get away from this mess. Let's head back to the Express and discuss matters there.
You're back. Himeko messaged me. She filled me in on the Star Rail Fest and the Phantom Moon's declaration. Things really are changing fast.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess out there in the streets. No, it's fine. Yagong is gonna be fine.
Yeah, that's right. We came here to win. A bigger prize doesn't change that.
Still, the mere fact that the Phantom Moon made a declaration is anything but ordinary.
To prevent the divine authority from falling into the wrong hands, the supplicants may go to any lengths now with their tactics and actions. After all, in most people's minds, they alone are the ones best suited to wield power. Right or wrong has little to do with it. Such is the nature of human will.
Yeah, and that may be exactly what the Phantom Moon wishes to see. A spectacular, head-on battle of ambitions.
Madame Pearl has sent a communication request to the Astral Express. Accept transmission?
It hasn't been long since we parted, and here I am disturbing you once more. My sincerest apologies.
Please, there's no need to apologize. Given the urgency of this transmission, Madame Pearl, I assume you wish to discuss the Phantom Moon's recent declaration.
Nothing manipulates people's emotions quite like that moon in the sky. A permanent handover of divine authority. It is unprecedented.
I can't help but wonder whether some malicious presence lurks behind the Phantom Moon. Still, who else but the Elation themselves could wield such control over it?
In any case, the Phantom Moon's speech has made the public realize that the power to create a god is in their hands. Their emotions, and perhaps even their wish power, are swelling to historic levels. The Department of Aberration Defense even detected a surge of agitation and unrest among the Imaginae. When normal people believe power rests in their hands, their decisions tend to grow more radical and reckless. Please, be careful. and make sure to protect yourselves. It isn't required, but I advise you to limit your appearances in public spaces.
I mean, it's a good idea. We don't need to get mobbed.
The Media and Public Relations Department has been monitoring public sentiment. At present, speculation and criticism regarding the Astral Express are surging.
I've seen it online myself. Following the fight with the Daybreak Warriors, there's been no shortage of hostile commentary aimed at her.
And no thanks to Fulwish TV as well, I'm sure.
A commentary program on TV has been claiming the Express's adventures are nothing but stories fabricated by the IPC. Many believe the Astral Express is oppressing the local heroes, and some are even speculating that she is the new Herald of Death.
What the? What's wrong with these people?
These narratives are undoubtedly being amplified by media platforms steered by Fulwish. I've received a report from the Security Bureau. They tell me that many fans of the Daybreak Squadron have been stirred up and are threatening retaliation against the Express. I'll reinforce security in case agitators attempt to storm the station.
I mean, not really. She can try, but that would also be like, oh, the IPC is overstepping their bounds.
I can, but you overestimate what control really means. In the arena of public opinion, those who look strong are often the ones at a disadvantage. And besides,
you'll be distancing yourself from us for a while. Isn't that right?
That is accurate. We intend to scale back our public association for the time being. If it's confirmed that the Express is colluding with the IPC, its public image would only deteriorate further.
There's really no point. They're not gonna believe it.
Regrettably, I cannot agree to this. Clarifying the facts amid a frenzy of public sentiment is like trying to quell boiling water by stirring it. It only fuels the flames. The happiness surgery causes recipients to undergo an abundance transformation. Disclosing such sensational information would probably be taken as a hoax, or trigger public panic. I will instruct the Department of Aberration Defense to verify the true mechanism behind the happiness surgery as soon as possible, and assess its potential impact. I strongly advise you to exercise restraint in front of the media. Even the smallest statement can be selectively edited and misrepresented.
But yes, I think I've learned that lesson well enough by now. Don't say anything if someone points a camera at you.
That much is certain. Still, given the current volatility of public sentiment, please exercise caution and self-control. I sincerely hope that the Phantom Moon's declaration will not disrupt the goodwill between us. But greater danger still stands before us. After listening to the declaration, who knows what extremes Fulwish might be driven to. Affairs demand my attention, so I must excuse myself. Should there be further developments, I will keep you apprised.
What do you make of the current situation?
We need to take action and put a stop to Fulwish before things get even worse. Even if I'd never joined the Phantom Moon Games, I'd still make this decision.
Yeah, a problem is still a problem. Yeah, for all the people she's been messing around with, we gotta get vengeance for Scott and for Magnus, my poor boy, but mostly for Scott. Everyone's had a rough time of it, but I gotta stay on my vengeance streak.
Whatever her excuse is, killing others as if it's just a game is beyond forgiveness.
Agreed. Given the likelihood of Fulwish acting unpredictably, we should confront her with everything we have. That reminds me, I've been wondering, the happiness surgery taps into the power of abundance, yet Fulwish seems perfectly normal. Just, how did she get her hands on something so dangerous?
Perhaps it's the lingering poison left behind by the previous Herald of Death. 15 years ago, the monster who turned living flesh into his artwork would, in the heat of combat, slip into bouts of frenzied elation and delirium. The murderous mark he left behind, the bloody bloom, was no mere delusion. According to his interrogation transcripts, he claimed to witness a brilliant golden tree promising him everlasting life. I cannot say whether the vision this madman claimed to see corresponds to something real, but the possibility cannot be ruled out. He claimed that in his hallucinations, the golden tree's branches coiled around him, drowning him in frenzy and pleasure. He wanted its blossoms to bloom before all, and to bring about that miracle, he was willing to slaughter without restraint. In hindsight, it's clear that the Herald of Death was a supplicant who bore the power of abundance. The tragedy he orchestrated in Planarcadia ultimately forged another version of himself, Fulwish. Right now, in Planarcadia, how many have undergone the happiness surgery and turned into potential abominations of abundance? It's a terrifying thought.
Yes, because it's not just a cult, it's a cult full of sleeper agents who are about to become monsters.
Fulwish, what has happened to you over the years? Hiding behind these innocent people. What are you really trying to accomplish? I need more information about this junior of mine. I plan to head to Graphia Academy. Care to join me? If we're to investigate Fulwish, we need to examine the traces left behind from the Herald of Death incident that took place during the last Phantom Moon Games. The recollections of teachers and the student records sealed away by the school. We're bound to find a vital clue there. If you're set, let's get moving.
Well, after that so-called dream campus experience, we've ended up back at Graphia Academy. It's almost like revisiting the place after graduation.
Yes, I guess you could call it your alma mater. You studied here for all of like 2 hours.
Wait a minute. This nostalgia isn't an after effect of the Sparksy virus, right?
Don't worry, Marge. The Department of Aberration Defense conducted a comprehensive disinfection of the campus.
Oh, that's a relief. The last thing I need is to be mid-investigation and suddenly morph into some hopping, dancing mushroom rabbit.
I mean, it would be a sight to see.
Speaking of which, where should we begin our investigation into Fulwish?
I mean, we could get the Dean to unseal all of the archives, but maybe we don't have to go straight to him.
I think it's best we see my father first. It's only appropriate that we obtain permission from the Dean before proceeding with the investigation. 15 years have passed, but there should be a backup of the student files, work logs, or visitor records, and only he knows where they're stored. Let's go then, to the Dean's office.
Time to force that man to do his job.
Himeko! There you are at last. The news said you got into a huge fight with those, what were they called? Warriors at the Floating Isle exhibition. And then you disappeared. Let me see. You're not hurt anywhere, are you? I sent you a dozen messages, and you didn't reply to a single one. Do you have any idea how worried I was? But seeing that you've come to tell me you're safe in person, I'll let this slide.
Yeah, that's what we're here to do. Tell you that we're safe.
If you're really so preoccupied, a message or a call would do, you know.
It's been 15 years since she's had to worry about parental oversight. And even longer, really, considering you were never around.
Ah, it's you two. I saw you on the news as well. Valiantly fought, huh? These Megatron warriors don't know who they're messing with. To think they dare challenge my daughter's subordinates.
Well, now it feels like we're the underlings of Warlord Himeko or something.
Warlord Himeko, damn.
In any case, I'll leave Himeko in your hands. Please try to keep her out of combat.
She is a grown woman, okay? If she wants to be involved in combat, she can be involved in combat. Of course, Grandpa. Whatever you say, Grandpa.
Stop. Every time you and she get together, the conversation somehow drifts completely off course.
Sorry, Himeko. It's just really funny.
I'm fine. I'm good. Your daughter's no porcelain doll. We came here to...
I know. I understand. You didn't come as my daughter. Rather, I am currently speaking to the navigator of the Astral Express. But tell me, has there been progress on the new Herald of Death case? I wasn't expecting the questioning to come in rounds.
In rounds?
The Department of Aberration Defense also sent someone here before you. They inquired about Fulwish. But regrettably, I truly don't know how to answer. On one hand, I wasn't here 15 years ago. On the other, she is still considered one of our school's distinguished alumni. I'm aware that you're involved in the investigation too. So, I compiled the pertinent documents ahead of time. I hope they'll be of use to you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryusuke.
Go ahead. The files are inside the archive room. Take whatever materials you need. To be honest, it wasn't until the Herald of Death incident 15 years ago that I first learned her name. As the Dean, I should have met up with her more often and tried harder to soothe the wounds it left on her. But I just couldn't. Do you really need all the details? The whole serving as a model example thing. I don't want to tarnish it completely.
I mean, he was going through some stuff too.
I knew it was a selfish thought, but I just couldn't help it. Back then, whenever I heard her name, I thought to myself, if someone was able to survive the incident, then why couldn't it have been my daughter? 15 years ago, I received a commission to paint a massive portrait for an elixir seeker chief on the planet of Goliath's Shepherd. They said he had an elixir that could cure countless diseases.
Now listen, I would not go trust an elixir seekers at their word.
By the time I came back, everything had changed. There had been a terrible accident on campus, and my daughter... even though I knew my presence here wouldn't have changed anything. Because of that incident, I made a promise to never leave this world again during the Phantom Moon Games. That's why I immediately flew here when I heard about the full Phantom Moon. But once again, I was too late. And the supplicant called Sparksy had turned the campus upside down.
So even though you're the dean, you still spend lots of time off-planet. What about your actual job?
It's alright. You can leave the crisis solving to the nameless.
You're right about that. Yet oddly, once Sparksy stirred up all that chaos, applications to the school soared to an all-time high. Times we live in are increasingly beyond my comprehension.
The school got real famous on social media after the Sparksy thing. Everyone wants to be at the place where Sparksy got her ass beat.
You're always welcome. Other than the archive room, you could also try talking to Miss Dolly. She's the longest-serving faculty member here and likely knows the most.
Then we'll try the archive room. Let's go, you two. Thank you, Dad.
We should be able to find the archive room and Miss Dolly around the Imagenesis classroom, right?
Oh my goodness, I thought I recognized you in the distance. Himeko, it really is you!
Miss Dolly, please forgive me for not coming to see you sooner. I've been back for a while now, but this is the first chance I've had to come see you.
Don't worry about it. I'm simply happy that you cared enough to visit. I must apologize about the mask you entrusted me. In the end...
I thought I was giving it to your friend here, but I got duped.
Please, I can't thank you enough for safeguarding the mask all those years.
Look at you. You haven't changed a bit. Oh, you and your friends look like you're in a hurry. Is there something you need to attend to? Fulwish? A poor child who survived the Herald of Death. The school organized a fundraiser for her back then. I still remember how she bowed again and again with tears in her eyes at everyone who helped. Poor girl, though she was lucky to have survived, her parents didn't make it. There were rumors flying around the school saying she had something to do with the Herald of Death. Otherwise, why would she be so lucky? She's the only one who survived. What a bunch of scoundrels. She had good grades and a good heart. And becoming famous, she often came back to visit the school and sponsored a number of scholarship projects.
Speaking of which, do you know anything about what happened to her after she graduated from school?
I heard she went somewhere beyond the sky to further her studies after graduation. She had the chance to work for the Interastral Peace Corporation, but chose to return home and take over Seafeld TV instead, which was on the verge of bankruptcy.
Interesting.
Somewhere beyond the sky. Miss Dolly, do you know where she went exactly?
She definitely didn't go after an elixir seeker or anything like that, right? She didn't go and, coincidentally end up in the IPC research facility where they were doing experiments on the, Herald of Death before they executed him, right?
I never heard. However, she pushed out many projects after taking over the TV station and managed to expand their business to the whole of Planarcadia in just a few years. That is all I know.
Thank you, Ms. Dolly, for your intel.
The new Herald of Death is real! They say he came back to life and was responsible for what happened in Dovebrook. He's not coming here to kill again. Is he? Maybe we should ask for leave and stay home until this blows over?
What are you, scared? If he really comes, I'm live streaming the whole thing and getting all the clout for it. Who needs leave after that? I'll just quit school altogether.
Damn, if he comes, I'm gonna live stream it. Even the part where he kills me is going all on live stream.
I heard he murdered hundreds of students here 15 years ago.
Hundreds? Really? I only heard that the crime scene still exists somewhere on campus. I don't feel too good about this. We should get out of here.
If we help the Express Gang, there's a chance we might get featured in The Fluffy.
But you need to quit clout chasing and start thinking about surviving the next week.
You're seriously obsessed with becoming famous.
The atmosphere in this archive room is giving me the creeps. It's so gloomy. Almost like we've stumbled into Fixtroll Garden.
It was like this 15 years ago as well. The archives tracked all academic results. Near the final exams, students dissatisfied with their abilities often poured their frustration into painting unsettling things. There's a lot of data stored here. Aside from what my father organized for us, let's explore the other areas as well. If possible, keep an eye out for clues regarding Fulwish's life after graduation. She returned to her alma mater frequently, so there must be records of her visits. Dabbling in technology related to the abundance. Where exactly did she acquire it? Perhaps her past holds a clue.
Is this?
Confiscated from an unauthorized club meeting. Destroy the old model, damn. You're like, down with Sparkle, Sparksy forever. Yeah, they can have it back after they graduate.
Ugh, did they really have to put this here?
I've looked through the catalog, and there are serious gaps in the data. After the incident, the Department of Aberration Defense must have confiscated a significant number of the school's archives and logs.
There are so many press releases here.
I mean, you know, it is good PR for the school.
The school's annual Distinguished Student Register from 1982 to 1984? For 3 consecutive years, first place was always Fulwish.
That's kind of suspicious.
The IPC has severed all channels of intel with its iron grip. Hardly a surprise.
This is a little bit invasion of privacy, but you know.
Formal caution regarding a student's non-compliant hairstyle. Disciplinary action concerning a student's involvement in 3 food poisoning cases. Disciplinary notice for a student's involvement in a physical altercation.
Well, she did already confess to being a bit of a wild child. Magnificent!
Detective March 7th is on the case, so spill the beans. How much do you know about what happened 15 years ago?
I'm not sure the frog board is allowed to answer you.
You've got the wrong guy, I swear. I'm just an innocent, cursed imagining. I can't even move from this spot. I don't know anything. Ribbit. The dean ordered me to dig up whatever materials I could find for you all to read.
I mean, technically a yearbook should have everyone in it from all of the years, but let's see who's in these other books. What a fun year. I mean, I don't think that you should really put someone's address in a yearbook. That's going a little far. Well, clearly you did not become a teacher. For the Intelligentsia Guild, huh?
Garden Star of Botanical Study. Cognitive Science Research. Miss Dolly mentioned that Fulwish went beyond the sky to study after graduation. Turns out this is where she went. Let's go chat with the others.
Well, did you find anything? Garden Star of Botanical Study? It appears to be a greenhouse world located within the Consternation Star Zone. Oh, found it. Its property ownership is registered under a specific school within the Intelligentsia Guild. Strange. The name of the school is encrypted.
Very suspicious. Is it one of the schools that got shut down?
I've heard conspiracy theories claiming the Herald of Death from 15 years ago was actually someone from the IPC. Given the great lengths the IPC went to in wiping away all traces after the incident, perhaps the rumors are true.
Fulwish was hurt by the Herald of Death. Yet after studying in an institution funded by the IPC, she became a suspect in the new Herald of Death incident.
Yeah, I mean, if someone in the IPC is out there doing their evil research, then yeah, all they need is just more people, and they can churn it back out again.
she created the happiness surgery after studying on that greenhouse world?
It's certainly possible, but the information is still too vague to make any judgments. I'm more inclined to think that after witnessing the power of the Herald of Death, she resolved to uncover the truth behind it. That's why she went to another world to study after graduation. But is the knowledge she gained in just a few short years enough to create the happiness surgery?
If she bumped into the right person, then yeah.
If the power of the abundance used in the happiness surgery stems from the Herald of Death's lingering poison, would the IPC, who have tried to hide this in every way possible, really be unaware of her actions? There are too many things here that an ordinary scholar simply couldn't achieve. Perhaps I should contact her as a fellow alumna and have an open, honest talk.
She knows you're with the Astral Express. She's not gonna be like, oh sure, this is totally normal.
Contact Fulwish as her senior? After all this time, would she even want to see you?
I don't know. Back then, I had taken a leave of absence from university due to health issues, so I was doing some idle work at my father's school to clear my mind. Fulwish would occasionally run to the library to slack off. She and Belle always appeared together, helping me organize newspaper clippings and library cards, all while chattering on about classmates' crushes and the latest gossip. They didn't treat me like a patient who needed special care, nor did they treat me like the dean's daughter. We often shared snacks brought from home and secretly dug out the school's collection of ancient books and paintings to admire them. Fulwish, she was the model student, always knowing a little more than everyone else. Her questions often went beyond the textbooks, pushing past the boundaries of what someone her age should know. When she looked through those illustrations of Imagine, her eyes would always sparkle. I could feel the passion in her eyes, and an unspeakable sense of loneliness. If she still remembers our old friendship, she will meet me. Fulwish is walking a dangerous path right now, and the deeper someone walks into the abyss, the more they crave the recognition and understanding of old friends. I want to ask her myself, why has the happiness she pursues become an illusion that can only be maintained by a taboo surgery?
I will protect you on behalf of your father, who begged me to do it.
Me too.
Thank you, you two. And thank you for your investigation. Though many questions remain unanswered, at least I now have a clearer picture of her movements after graduation. By the way, before we leave the school, there's one more place I'd like to visit. Before I meet Fulwish, I want to say goodbye to that memory from 15 years ago.
You mean that old school building from 15 years ago?
I'm so sorry. I just couldn't finish tidying up the ribbons, and now I've dragged you into staying this late.
Don't worry about it, Belle. It was my turn on duty today anyway.
Himeko? Is this?
Yes. In this imaginated classroom, The after images of the students from 15 years ago still linger in their original places.
Tomorrow is the school anniversary. I wonder how lively it will be. They've invited parents here. Will your parents be coming? Oh, Fulwish?
That's Fulwish from her youth.
Yeah, Dad already took time off. By now he's probably out on the streets with Mom, picking out formal wear. If it's my daughter's performance, we have to dress to the nines. That's just like him. He always loves making those kinds of jokes.
Then you'd better put on a good show, huh?
No pressure, right?
There won't be a show anymore, Belle. Because unexpected guests have arrived.
I mean, it's not healthy if you come here to reminisce about the past. You should not do that, regardless of whether you're a crazy cult leader.
Everyone from the Astral Express and Himeko. I didn't expect to meet you here. Did you enjoy yourselves at Star Rail Fest? Did you grant those smiling kids their wishes and bring joy to everyone?
Don't act like you don't know exactly what happened.
Fulwish.
Himeko, you recognized me at just a glance. I am here to mourn that dusk from 15 years ago. Before making any major decisions, I always come here to sit in silence for a while.
Now, I don't ask anyone their opinions, I just come here to tell myself that I've done the right thing.
I thought Himeko was at school like the rest of us that day. When I saw Belle lying in a pool of blood, when I was crushed under the collapsed wall and unable to breathe, the thought crossed my mind. Poor Himeko. If you had met the Herald of Death with that delicate frame of yours. But who would have guessed? You're alive and living quite well. You became the navigator of the Astral Express, roaming freely beyond the sky, just like the three of us used to talk about in our chats. Your dream came true. Congratulations are in order.
Yeah, she's like, now that I've congratulated you, you wouldn't dare turn around and tell me that my dream coming true was a bad thing, right?
Himeko, do you know 15 years have passed, and my wounds have mostly healed? Regrettably, there are some scars and emptiness that time can never heal. Look around. Even here, even with these phantoms, their seats are still empty. Belle, Leon, Xianya, Mia, and so many others.
And that's why coming back here is not healthy.
15 years have passed, and I've learned that time isn't a cure. It's a shroud, binding itself around me, layer upon layer. So I made a decision. I'm going to tear it open. I'm going to let everything bloody and unforgettable beneath it see the light of day again.
I'm going to tear open my own trauma, inflicted upon everyone else, and that'll make me feel better.
See the light of day? You were a victim of the Herald of Death, only to become the second Herald of Death yourself? You intend to use a power you can't possibly comprehend to win the Phantasmoon games. How are you any different from that monster back then? From the monster that took your parents' lives? I'm sorry. I shouldn't compare you to that devil. You still have a chance. Stop this now.
Stop? I'm sorry. I don't quite understand what you're saying.
You know, like the way that you incited those poor kids to murder like 30 people.
I would advise everyone to think twice before making rash accusations. As a media professional, let me give you a piece of advice. From now on, when you're in front of a camera lens, watch your expressions and be cautious with your words and actions. At the very least, try not to look so flustered during this public exchange. We live in a world where we are constantly gazed upon and watched by others. This camera crew was originally prepared for my upcoming speech, but meeting you all here, it really adds a wonderful dramatic flair.
Okay, but you're not doing the speech here. Why did you bring them with you? Because you knew you were gonna be confronted at some point. And so you're like, alright, camera's rolling 24/7. If anyone says anything to me, it's going on TV.
To the audience watching from your screens, you know my name, and I know that right now, you are watching me.
Listen to the horrific accusations these people are throwing at me.
15 years ago, with the tacit approval of the IPC and the Arcadia Council, the Master of Elation's divine ritual degenerated into a barbaric, bloody game. You and I, the residents of this Arcadia, surrendered a lifetime of dignity, wealth, and time to them, all in exchange for a single full meal. We are surrounded by bizarre entertainment and stimulating gore. We soak all day in shallow, boring programs, achieving nothing.
I mean, bold words from someone who is the head of an entertainment, you know, a television station. You're like, oh, that's right, even the stuff I play on my TV station, it's all terrible, awful stuff.
And now, we must live in fear of the unscrupulous atrocities of these supplicants from beyond the sky, forcing smiles as we applaud and cheer for them. Is this the happiness that God promised us? No! Absolutely not! The Master of Elation would never be deceived by miracles, but with pain and blood. What they desire to see are heartfelt smiles. And so, they granted me a revelation. Everyone, on that evening 15 years ago, what saved me was not luck. It was not the supplicants, and it was certainly not the IPC. Right here, as the Herald of Death approached, step by step, the one who sent down a miracle was the Master of Elation. They allowed me to escape with my life. And when I was trapped in a small room, consumed by loneliness, they sent me a mask. They revealed my mission to me, to bring happiness back to a Planarcadia that has lost its smile. I, Fulwish, survivor of the Bloodstained Games, hereby formally announce that I will join the Phantom Moon Games! In this game, I shall win the Eon of Elation's authority. And then, I will make smiles of happiness bloom on the faces of every single person in Planarcadia!
You could argue that the bloom terminology is just like the Herald of Death. She wants things to bloom just like he wanted all of the magical trees to bloom for everyone.
Himeko, don't frown. Smile.
Smile, you're on camera.
I will bring happiness to you too, just as I will bring it to everyone.
I didn't ask for your cult happiness.
I won't manipulate the Phantom Moon Games like those high and mighty IPC executives. Nor will I treat the rewards granted by the God of Elation as bargaining chips for profit. We are in Planarcadia, so we should decide the winner in a Planarcadian way. I'll give you a stage if that's what you want. I invite you all to a televised debate at Fulwish TV in Seafeld City. The invitation extends to all supplicants.
A Planarcadian way? That's just a way that benefits you. We're not going.
But if you say that, it just stirs up the, anti-outsider sentiment.
You can refuse, of course, but then, under the gaze of billions of viewers, you must accept your public image as frauds deceiving the world and cowards with guilty consciences. Remember, this isn't just an invitation. It is your only chance to defeat me in front of everyone. Since you believe you represent what is right. The stage is set. Come and perform this final act that will determine the future of the Arcadia with me. Or simply leave. The choice is yours.
Darn it! Are we just going to let Fulwish walk away?
Again, cameras.
We are right in the middle of the cameras she prepared. Remember to be cautious with your words and actions. Let's leave here and return to the Express.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Arcadian Morning Report. We're continuing our exclusive coverage. Just moments ago, we received some shocking news. The head of our station, Lady Fulwish, has officially announced that she will be entering the Phantom Moon Games as a supplicant.
At the same time, Lady Fulwish has announced a blockbuster special! The end of a century TV debate! She is inviting supplicants to the Fulwish TV studio to discuss and debate the topic, what kind of future will the Phantom Moon Games bring to this world?
What a magnificent topic! At a time when supplicants from beyond the sky are brazenly suppressing and insulting our local heroes, finally, a supplicant has appeared who truly cares about and represents the citizens of Planarcadia.
Too true! Ever since these Phantom Moon Games began, signs of things spiraling out of control have been popping up everywhere! First, the famous streamer Sparksy tried to spread a mimetic virus. Then the nameless of the Astral Express clashed with the Daybreak Squadron, causing severe damage to Lookout Cloud and the Skyline Express line!
Okay, but Sparksy is from here, so even if we weren't here, Sparksy still would have done that. That's a Planarcadia issue.
With so many accidents happening, you really can't help but wonder, are we seeing a repeat of the Bloodstained Games from 15 years ago?
You got that right! Speaking of the Bloodstained Games 15 years ago, Miss Fulwish herself is a survivor of that tragedy! She's come such a long way, never once letting her painful past keep her down! A true legend of resilience!
Well, she's definitely learned how to make a profitable, marketable, pitch out of her tragic backstory.
Now Miss Fulwish Sparksy as a supplicant! She must be here to stop the tragedy from repeating itself and to reclaim the peaceful days this world deserves from the hands of supplicants from beyond the sky!
Will she be able to shoulder the wishes of all Planarcadia and set this game right again after it's spiraled out of control? Let's wait and see.
Ugh, so shameless! Reporting news about your own station director on your own TV station, and you still have the gall to pretend you've received some shocking news? Don't you guys talk to each other internally?
I see. Fulwish actively issued a challenge. I ran a search. Seafeld City is a port town neighboring Duo-Mention City. Fulwish TV's predecessor, Seafeld TV, is located there. Looking at it this way, the televised debate is obviously nothing more than a diversion. What Fulwish wants most is for us to walk right into the trap she's prepared. So, what do you think?
I mean, unfortunately, we kinda can't say no without coming off looking real bad.
You're really going to the TV station to fight her?
I'll go, but not to debate. I'm going to tear off her mask of happiness in front of the entire audience. But before we act, I need more help.
Help? We can all help you. Wait, do you mean...
Well, Sparksy would be interesting, but let's try Sunday first.
Sparksy.
Yeah, Sparksy does have the media prisons.
Ever since Sunday was dragged into the Phantom Moon games by Yao Guang, he hasn't returned for days.
Yeah, he's a busy beaver doing stuff with the General.
However, I haven't heard of him making any public appearances either. Asking him to cooperate as a wildcard right now is a good idea.
But what's the deal with finding Sparksy?
Whether Sparksy counts as our ally is a massive question mark. But right now, there is indeed something we need her help with. Fulwish said that when loneliness trapped her in that small room, the Master of Elation sent her a mask.
So we need a masked fool's opinion.
Correct. If every fool has stepped into the tavern before, then there must be traces hidden there left by Fulwish as a fool. Just like
how we tracked down the clues about SparksyCon.
Sparksy. Will she stand on our side? Well, this is certainly a condition she wouldn't be able to turn down.